Hello and welcome back to Poems in the Potting Shed. So Halloween is just around the corner and I've been working on some ghostly poems for a visitor attraction over in Derbyshire, and here's just a preview of what's in store.
Once upon a winter's night, under moonlit cover, a local lass climbed Masson Hill to meet her secret lover. They planned to meet upon the tower, then run away that night. But as she reached the colder heights, the frost began to bite. She waited as the snowflakes fell. Where could her lover be? Well, he was in the tavern with a tankard on his knee. While she was...
Visitors to the Heights of Abraham in Matlock Bath this October half-term will be able to go on a ghost hunt audio trail, which is new for Halloween. So if you're in the area, you can hop on the cable car, come on up to the summit, and you can hear the stories for yourself. Well, that's enough of Halloween for the moment, because of course Christmas is only just round the corner. And whilst it might be a bit of a strange one this year, one thing is for certain: the list of what children want for Christmas just gets longer and longer each year. Now, my grandma used to say, "I want doesn't get," although actually sometimes I think that's not true. But it led me to write this next poem, which I'm very pleased to say is going to be read by a young friend of mine, an expert poetry reader, young 10-year-old Georgie Pugh.
I want to have an iPad. I really do. Mummy's got one. It's not fair. I need to have one too. It's not like they're expensive, and think of how I'll use it. I'll make at least £1,000,000. Let's go now. Let me choose it. Are you saying I can't have one? That is very mean. Buy me one this minute, or I'll scream and scream and scream. Look, let's all be reasonable. I've got some pocket money. I'll do the dishes for a week. Just get me one, please, Mummy. I didn't really want one. I want a horse instead. If Daddy doesn't get me one, I might as well be dead. I'll settle for a pony and a saddle and a hat. Perhaps I need a stable too. Now go, just get me that. Thinking more about it, I want to have a car. I know I cannot drive it yet, but Mummy, be a star. It has to be a shiny one. It better be brand new. 'Cause when I get my iPad, I'll need Wi-Fi in there too.
Thank you for that lovely reading, Georgie, and I hope you get all the presents you want this year. I start off writing most of my poems on a computer rather than a piece of paper. This is mainly because it allows me to go back and forth over the phrases, rewriting lines, so that I end up with the rhyme that I want. Then I'll print them out and leave them for an hour or so, go and have a cup of coffee, and then come back and read them again. This is when I tend to spot bits that don't flow properly, or descriptions that seem just a little bit weak. I'll make those changes to the printed copy at that point, read the poem out loud a couple of times, and finally update the computer version for filing. As to what inspires me to write a poem, it can be just about anything. I can be driving my car or lying in bed, and often it's something that I've read in the news, as is the case with this final poem for today that I wrote just last week.
Excuse me, but I have to ask, are you smiling beneath your mask? It's hard to tell just what you're thinking, so how about we smile by blinking? A little blink plus a raised eyebrow means, "Hello mate, how are you now?" A longer blink, or maybe two, could mean I have missed seeing you. 3 short blinks and a little bow gives a courteous smile that's quite highbrow. But don't mix up a happy blink with a furtive cheeky wink, for winking at a complete stranger could generate some blinking danger.
Well, that's it for this week in the Potting Shed. I hope you'll join me next week for 2 more poetry seedlings. Until then, stay safe and bye for now.
Follow David's Poems on Facebook to watch previous episodes and read more poems, or visit the website www.davidspoems.co.uk.